Get your John Lee hooker on. Howdy folks, g'day, how you going? Once again I'll fidget in my chair. Good to see you again. Sawati krap for those Thai viewers, meaning hello in Thailand if you're male. G'day for the Australian viewers, and for the Australian Thai viewers, g'day krap. Jamie Lockhart here. Hello, if this is the first time you're watching me and the channel, nice to meet you. For return viewers, good to see you again. This session, lesson, call it whatever you want, it's more aimed at beginners, electric and or acoustic. It is a blues boogie in the style of John Lee Hooker, let's say, because John Lee Hooker's a legend. God rest his little cotton socks. I'm going to go straight into it, and I will pull it apart a little bit, but I don't want to spend too much time wasting your time, so let's go. Key points. I'm playing E5th. For those of you who don't know what an E5th is, or you know you're holding one but you didn't know that's what you were doing, it's basically an E minor, but you're not playing all of the strings on the guitar, which makes it a minor. You're only playing top E, the fifth string, which has now become a B, and the next E. That's what makes a fifth. Now, whether you're using a plectrum or whether you're using your fingers is up to you. I think the fingers is using your fingers is a better approach. But we can turn this into a more Stevie Ray shuffle than a boogie with a plectrum, and I'll show you that later. Firstly, let's figure out the mechanics of what we're going to do. All we are going to do is there's going to be two chords, and that will be the E5th and the A5th. A5th is simply hold an A chord, take your third finger off, it's now a fifth. You are only ever going to play when we're plucking the chord you're holding down, meaning the E with the root note open, the A, which has a root note open. It doesn't matter if you don't hit that A. Just remember that you're going to be picking with first and second fingers the fretted notes of both chords. Now, a single note, which is the G, is the pivot point that you are going to always use and rely on to move these two fingers around. And this is this is why I love this little pattern, because it's fun, but it teaches you the importance of having a pivot point or a grounding finger, especially when you're learning, because it gives your left hand dexterity. So that, you know, when you're learning, you're still learning where does it feel right on those to hold a chord down. This third finger on that G gives you that pivot point, so it's a grounding point. Now, what we're going to do very slowly, I'm hitting that G, and if you can, you could play the open, which is now a G. I'm playing the two strings which are gonna become my A5th, right? But right now I could hit them to give me when I get to that A5th, I'm using my root note there of the A. Now if that's too much, doesn't matter, you can do this. Play that single G note to lead into your A5th. So now you can do a practice out of this song, but the same thing as just getting your fingers used to. Imagine it as a walk, getting your fingers used to walking. exercise, if you want to do a practice before you approach the song, or if you want to make the song your practice, up to you. But a good little warm-up exercise might be for you to walk up and down that riff. Now, when I'm using a plectrum, it then becomes a bit of a shuffle. The trick, if you're using a plectrum, is this. If you're in that pace, is you have to comp on the strings. It's that Stevie Ray Vaughan thing I did in a couple of videos ago. If you haven't seen it, it's all about that. I think it's called comping, but we mute the strings to give it a very defined rhythm, a very exact rhythm, because we don't want to be doing this. It sounds like dog shit. See, it's a flick, up strokes if you notice. You'll work it out. Again, I can't teach you the nuances or the tiny little things that happen in the right hand especially, and with vamping and chomping on the strings. It's not a theoretical approach, it's a feel. You have to just practice, and once you get your practice, what happens when you practice, okay? The things you're unconsciously aware about is that your hands will feel pain they're going to feel pain anyway. That's just a part of practice, is pain in the left fingers and the fingertips. We know that. But if there's two things that happen, especially with the strumming hand, is your hand is unconsciously sending, or you're not aware of the signals it's sending to say, that hurts, or that isn't working for me to create the sound I want, and or the technique. Now, if I was a beginner and I started off going, I'm going to strum with my right hand, everything is rigid when you start, when you're a beginner. What your practice becomes is, through no theory, but just through simply application, and that means playing, is, I started off like this. Now, I'm using flesh and fingernail. I'm not holding anything rigid. It is all loose and it flows. That is something that you will only get good at by default, because of the ways it doesn't work will lead you to the way it works. That's what I'm trying to say. So if your practice now is, how the hell is he doing that? Believe me, every time you apply practice, you are training yourself somewhere on an unconscious and a conscious level. So don't think you're not getting it. It's just time, as it always is. Now, I'm going to go over this nice little lick, which, for those of you who are beginners and you don't know your scales, I'm quickly going to go over the scale out of this E. So let's just say, for want of a better, this is an E pentatonic, or the E minor pentatonic. Call it what you will. You don't need to know the names of things to be able to play them. And that's really why I avoid the jargon behind teaching beginners, because it doesn't matter what it's called. What matters is that you're playing it correctly and you're enjoying it. So what we're going to do is this. Scales, scales come out of chords, okay? They're associated, they have to be. Now, I'm starting my scale from my held chord, and this is a lot of blues players, especially solo players, and with John Lee Hooker especially, a great example, is you need to be playing your little phrases in between your chords. So with this scale, you've got that second finger on an E string. So let's say that's our root note in the scale. That's our lowest note. I'm going to play that. I'm going to come onto the G underneath. G. I'm going to fret that G, which becomes an A on the 2nd fret. I'm using, and there's a reason why I'm using I haven't gone to 1st finger, and I'll show you why. So I've gone, slide up to the 4th fret on the G. Now, look where my 1st finger is. It's directly over the next note I want on the B string. Now, the full scale. You like that little lick? It's cool. It's bending the G, the A note on the G string. That's it. That's the song. Play it slowly, like everything. Start off slow, build up to fast. If you want to vamp and use the plectrum, up to you. Again, I really recommend getting the fingers working, especially if you're a beginner. Don't always rely on the plectrum. Acoustic guitarists, beginners, start off finger picking, work your way towards a plectrum. You can create so much more on the guitar when you have your fingers available. Now, slow it down so it could be something like this. Slow, easy, pour yourself a whiskey if you're over 18, cordial if you're under. Drink responsibly. But it doesn't have to be fast. There's beauty in all of these blues songs, but for this example, we're doing the John Lee Hooker boogie, so get your boogie on. If there's anything I missed, send me a comment. I hope I covered enough. If there's anything you would like to learn, again, put a comment in. Anything you think would help you and or the channel, please. I am open to constructive criticism. My name is Jamie Lockhart. Guitar tuition, lessons, all of that I do, private, online. If you want them, message me, email me. You'll see in the links below. You've got my contact details. Take care, keep playing. I'll see you next time. Love to you all. John Lee Hooker doesn't do that.